Hey guys, welcome back, and in today's video we're covering Axon stock. And so the last time I covered this stock was around a year ago, and since then their stock has shot up nearly 95%, from the high 90s to where it sits now, around 185 or so. With Axon consistently beating expectations, it's no wonder why their stock has continued to rise, as well as the continual release of new products and services like their new Taser 10 and the Axon Records service. And with Axon stock running up over 90% in just a year, it's important to check back in with your investment to reevaluate and see if the fundamentals got better or worse. It's also important because as a stock outperforms by a large margin, it becomes a large portion of your portfolio, and it's important to see if the thesis remains true. So before we get into it, for those of you who don't know what Axon does, they sell tasers, body cams, and a myriad of other hardware, sensors, and devices, all for police officers and other enforcement agencies. Axon also sells subscription software services that catalog various relevant information, which helps further integrate their customers into the ecosystem of cameras and tasers. They also have a few other product lines, such as their record software and hardware devices, like their fleet products. Now, Axon also released their moonshot idea, and Axon's moonshot is simple, but it's not easy. And that is to reduce gun-related deaths between the police and the population by over 50%. Now, Axon has also created an entire ecosystem of products and services that encompasses the entire policing system, from the sensors and the weapons on the officer to the software used in the courtroom. Now, all of this is to create a more accountable justice system while also reducing the amount of lethal interactions between police officers and the population. Now, what does that mean for investors? Well, when looking for investments, I prefer recurring subscription-like products that can predictably grow, allowing the company to rely on them for making long-term growth-oriented decisions. And I think a perfect example of this is Axon, as they have developed their SaaS offerings and achieved over $520 billion in annual recurring revenue, with a net revenue retention rate exceeding 120%. This is impressive in and of itself, but what's even more impressive is the rate at which they've been growing their SaaS services, which is over a 40% compound annual growth rate since 2019, reaching over $520 million per quarter. Now, this SaaS product is primarily a bundle of hardware and software that is sold at a discount compared to each individual item. It can cover most of the police department's needs, from tasers and body cams all the way to reports that need to be filed on their computer, and even to the courtroom where footage and other documents will be examined. It's important to note that even though Axon is in the business with police departments and federal agencies, they don't sell or make guns or ammunition, which makes them kind of immune to most of the controversy involved about firearms and other lethal weapons. Now, if you look at this chart here, Axon has also made a concentrated effort to move their revenue away from one-time hardware sales and into subscription bundles, where they will sell periodic updates to their tasers and body cams, as well as their cartridges. This is another way that Axon is seeking to smooth out their revenue and keep customers within their ecosystem while at the same time increasing margins. Now, addressing the title of this video, their new products. First, they had the Taser 10, which was just released in the past few months, and they have touted it as their Saturn V for their moonshot. And this new taser has increased range, faster travel speed, and individual probe deployment to make it easier and more reliable connection. They also released their new Body Cam 4, and here is the video for that.
Medics are en route. I have your live stream up. I'll count while you start chest compressions. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Get on the ground!
Which allows dispatchers, mental health experts, translators, and officers to now have two-way communication, drastically improving speed, efficacy, and safety for all parties involved. Bodycam 4 also features increased battery life, improved picture quality, a wider field of view, and a new Watch Me button that officers can activate whenever. The new body cam even has video recall that is encrypted on device, ensuring that whenever an officer forgets to turn on their body cam in a stressful situation or during a critical event, they can still access that footage later on. Additionally, Axon has also developed a new VR game to train officers and users of the taser. This way, they can enhance their accuracy and speed in deploying their weapon. They believe that VR is the future of police officer training because it can reduce the cost of that training, as it does not require the actual hardware and cartridges, but rather a simulated version that increases realism but also saves costs. Now, what's the current value of Axon stock, and is it even a good time to buy right now? Well, they're currently sitting at a forward price to earnings ratio of around 60 and a price to sales of over 10. Now, this is pretty typical for Axon, as they have traded at a premium for quite some time. However, I think that they have earned some of this because of their rapidly growing subscription services. Although the valuation may be a little frothy for value investors, I believe that Axon will still be able to outperform the S&P even with this valuation over the next 5 years. Now, this valuation, as well as the qualitative factors mentioned above, lead me to stay long on this company, and I've been slowly adding to this position over time because I think they will continue to grow long into the future. Now, just as a disclaimer, just because I'm buying this stock does not mean you should, and you should do your own research and figure out whether you believe in this mission or that this company will grow into the future for yourself, and don't just rely on me. Now, I'm going to continue to keep covering this company and their new products and features into the future. So if you want to keep updated to that, this is where you'll find it. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.